Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's Karen Anderson, founder and president of Alberta Food Tours. And it's my great pleasure today to be chatting with a real culinary hero of mine, Ricardo Larrivée. Ricardo is one of Canada's most beloved culinary personalities. He's known for his approachability with his recipes, his TV shows, which I never missed Ricardo and Friends ever. And for over 20 years, you've been helping Canadians bring joy, but also simplicity to their kitchens. As a home cook, I really appreciate that. And, you know, along with founding the brand, Ricardo, and the magazine, you've built a successful product line. You have 3 restaurants. And deservedly, you've also won the Order of Canada for your contributions to our nation's cuisine. So my hat off to you, my friend. Those are great accomplishments. And I just think that, you know, Canada does have the best food in the world. So we need people like you to tell our story. So, you know, it seems to me like you have been on a mission to demystify cooking for families and get them actually cooking. And nothing brings people together more, I think, than Thanksgiving. And so there's going to be families gathering this coming weekend. What would be your 5 top tips for them as they gather to make it a little approachable?
Well, the first one is not even about food. We have to remember that food is actually the excuse we give ourselves to be together. So it's not about being stressed or trying to be the best restaurant food ever. Something. It's just say, hey, let's be together. And the food brings people together. We have to remember that this night's holiday is started with the First Nations. Say, hey, let's say thank you to nature for everything we had this year. There's a lot of people don't have the chance to have enough food in the country, even though it shouldn't happen. Well, this weekend to me is like celebrating harvest time, family, friendship, all that. It is important for everyone in the country. So, and then I say you don't have to do everything. If it stresses you, because if you love food, you know, my wife and I, and now we're grandparents, we love to prepare everything. You know, we battle the kids, everyone wants to do something. Says, no. We want to take care of it because this is what we do. We love that. But if it's not the case, there's no problem of saying, you know what, that stresses me out, but I want to see you. And then you just like ask people to do things with you. And if you are a dessert lover, take care of that part, give away the rest of it. If you and just there's no shame in that. Be yourself, express your fear, and do it. I always say when something stresses you, just make things clear ahead of time. Just as long, even like right now, we could think already of Christmas or the holidays for whatever holidays we'll celebrate. Say, hey, this year, this is how it's going to be done. So everyone knows what to expect. So when it comes to this meal, say, hey, traditionally, Americans love turkey a bit more, a bit less in Canada, but still, to me, it's whatever piece of resistance you want to celebrate. And it's nice when it's a piece that is bigger, that is on the table, that you can carve or serve or cut. It can go from vegetarian to beef. It doesn't matter. It's there on the table, and it's the serving part. I think it's very interesting. Find a menu that you can put on big plates on the table, and you will serve people that are around you. And there's this gesture of sharing, saying, hey, I did that for you. And as guests, I always say, we have a job to do. We have to be present, not only physically, but mentally, be interested into others. Not, you know, like
No
it's
phone.
exactly. And we have to remember that it doesn't matter if it's not the best pie in the world. Nobody's there for the pie. They're there for you. So
Yeah.
it's very important to me, and I repeat myself. You have to be unstressed about this. People are pleased, honored. You took your time, effort, money to invite them to your place.
Yeah.
Well, of course, everyone is going to be happy. And A very simple thing. Don't complain as soon as you put something on the table. If something is a bit over or undercooked to your liking, because sometimes others will say, "What are you saying? It's super nice. It's very good." Don't say a thing. Like the Queen, never complain, never explain.
Julia Child said, never apologize.
Yeah, it's true. And quite often we realize, oh wow, I was stressed with this, and actually it was so much fun. They came, and potluck is still very in. Why not? I
Yeah.
mean, quite often, if I'm on the rush and I don't have time to do everything, I will take care of the main part. And I'm a big fan of chicken. You might, if you, I mean, because it's easy for portions. If you're four, you can
Yeah.
have a party with four, but if you're 6 or 12, I mean, it's easy to buy one, two, three chickens as
Yeah.
if they were turkeys. You can do the same thing as if it was a turkey, but it's a beautiful local chicken. And then you have leftovers. There's something easy about that. So I love to take care of that part. But then for salads, for desserts, for a soup, for whatever you want to bring around this dish, it's easy to ask others to say, hey, you're not too good in the kitchen. I know you. Take care of this soup. Nobody will miss a soup. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, those are great tips. I know that you and Brigitte, your wife, wrote a
Yeah,
beautiful book, Manger Ensemble, Eating
yeah.
Together. And I would imagine people could find a lot more tips in that book as well.
No,
And
you're right. You're right. And
yeah.
of course, sometimes, and I'm not saying this because I actually sell already prepared food, but when I started to do that, it was in the sense of, what if you don't have time? You're not competent in this, or you're not confident into doing it.
Yeah.
Well, the best way is always to take a recipe, go to your market or store, buy the things you want, and actually cook it. It's going to be healthy, cheaper. It's the best thing. But at the same time, we're not there to judge. Maybe you just don't want to make this extra effort to make a cake or a soup or something. This is why I started to actually make vinaigrettes and stuff that I could sell throughout the country, to say, hey, if you don't want to make it, I'm there for you too. I propose to you to take my recipe on the web or in a book and to do it yourself, but it's there to help you out.
And I think that, as the grand-père and grand-mère, you're also, by delegating, you're fostering that knowledge and just in bits and pieces for the next generation. So that's
Mhm.
super helpful as well.
You're
I'm,
so right.
I'm going to, I delegate. I am the hub in my home, and I brine my turkey, but everybody gets a job that's at the table. And I want them, when it's my turn to sit back and they take it over, I want them to be ready. So it's a really great thing to be a mentor, and you've been a
And
fabulous one.
it's the only way to transfer family knowledge,
Mhm.
like traditions. It doesn't matter, I always say, what are your traditions? And sometimes we don't have any. You realize, well, create one. In 20 years, in 5 years, it's going to be something that people expect. It can be
Yeah.
your grandchildren, your children. It just transfer what you have. And it's important. You say, hey, this was made by your grandfather, and I'm doing it today. And maybe
Yeah.
one day you'll do it to your friends and family also. It's important.
Well, I appreciate that. I want to talk about Canadian ingredients.
Yeah.
A favorite topic. I remember one episode you did where you went into the cranberry bog. I have a lifelong dream of going to a cranberry bog, and so I really lived vicariously through that. But tell me about what you think is underused and undervalued. What
Mm.
Canadian food would you like to see on the table for Thanksgiving that is underutilized?
You know what? I would mention two things that are the same in both scenarios. When we think of right now holiday and Halloween and all that, the pumpkin, whatever you want
Oh,
to make.
right.
Sometimes, like, yeah, pumpkin, it's great. I mean, but it doesn't, it's overrated when it's a Halloween season.
Yeah.
And then we forget about it, where it's a seasonal vegetable, but that you can keep room temperature for months and months, that we harvest from coast to coast.
Yeah.
And that would deserve to be more on our tables. Like
Yeah.
it's beautiful vegetables. You can roast them. Like for this next holiday, cut any squash into pieces, a bit of olive oil or canola oil, salt and pepper, roasted it in the oven. It's
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it's overdone for this season where we should use it all year long. And the other one is maple syrup. Maybe it's because I'm from Quebec, but maple syrup, it's overdone for breakfast and pancakes, of course, and on an ice cream or something. But I love Asian food. Well, the sweet and sour, the sweet and spicy. Well, the sweetness, instead of being white sugar or honey, could be maple syrup. We could use maple in a different way than just plain standard desserts, or like what we expect. It's not just a sweet in a bottle. It could be mixed in so many things. I'm doing
Mhm.
beef with it, and pork and chicken, and as an extra flavor and sweetness. So I would use the same two ingredients in both scenarios, over and under.
Beautiful. And that is a really good segue to my next question for you, because I am mad about your pudding chômeur.
Oh, yeah, the classic.
Yes, and I have a friend here in Calgary, Lulu Savoie. She's a good Montrealer, and so she has your cookbooks in French, and she makes that for when we go to her house for dinner because she knows how crazy I am about it. I took her home to New Brunswick to see
Yeah.
my mom in the spring, and we made 12 little ramekins of pudding
Mm.
chômeur and left them in mom's freezer. And talk about making an 83-year-old woman happy.
It's fantastic. This
Yeah.
this this is a classic that started in the Great Depression, or in the 30s, where people had no money, but they wanted to actually make a little dessert. So it's kind of a white classic vanilla cake, except you pour on that batter a mixture. It could be from just water and brown sugar, or with some maple syrup in it on top of it. And when it cooks, the batter will raise, and you'll have this sweet sauce underneath it. And with the scoop of vanilla ice cream, it's always fantastic. It's funny. Right now, I'm in Vancouver, and I'm talking about a new book for kids. I'm just launching, and there's the putting chômeur in a cup, so you can do this in the microwave for
Oh,
one
no
person.
way.
Lots of us in the country are on our own because whatever
Yeah.
reason. So it's nice to have recipes you can actually make for one person. And I decided to make the pudding chômeur in a cup. You have this also on my website, but it's a great, I'd say, omi and comfy dessert, and that is also what people are looking for sometimes. Something that makes you feel just happy.
Yeah, I think my mom lives alone, so I will be looking for that for
Yeah.
her. And I'd love to share that with our Alberta Food Tours community. I know they'll go mad for it as well, and there'll be a increase in maple syrup sales in the West. Finally, you've had TV shows, your work in radio for
Yeah.
decades. You have your restaurants, you have millions of followers. I follow your English newsletter. I know that there's millions that follow the French newsletter. Every week I'm astounded what comes out. And I always, I'm an
Thank you.
imaginative cook, but we can all use constant inspiration because it's a constant job. I'm just wondering, you have a line of cookware. You've won the Order of Canada. What is next? Is it these ready-made foods that you're giving us a little
Well,
hint about, or?
you mentioned it. I'd love to be an inspiration, and to be able to convince people from wherever they are in the country that they're more than what they think in the kitchen. They're excellent. Of course, we give a lot of our time to our jobs, but if we put 1/5 of that in the kitchen, all of us would be chefs. And so the self-esteem and confidence, to me, is the goal I have. However, I can promote the self-esteem through food to
Yeah.
kids, to parents, this is what I want to do, because it's who we are. I mean, we can argue on many things, but food brings people around the table. And around the table, when you're having a meal, there's no more language, colors, political views, or religion. We're just people around the
Yeah.
table, get to know each other. And in these times, we really need that.
Yeah, I agree. You are a great mentor. And, I have my copy of Sheep Pen
Oh,
Everything.
this is my most popular book through Canada and the States, this one, because you throw everything on the baking sheet and all of a
Exactly.
sudden you have a meal, almost no dishes to be made after.
I've made that paella a few times and it's gone
Mm,
over really well. So,
the
I would,
shawarma plate. Try the shawarma.
oh, yes, yes, I will. My son will love that. And isn't that vegan as well? Isn't it a tofu
We have many
shawarma?
recipes. I
Yeah,
love to try to kind of propose different types of proteins.
yeah.
Again, sometimes it's half something, it's everything, but it's nice to work with these proteins.
That one's really good for our family because my son's partner is vegan. So I always am on the lookout for those things. So yeah, here in Alberta, we have 10 signature foods: beef, barley,
Mhm.
canola, honey, red five wheat, root vegetables, Saskatoon berries, mustard, barley, and
Saskatoon
pulses.
berries. Wow. Nice
So
pie.
I want to close by inviting you to come and come on a food tour with us here in
I
Calgary.
love that. Let's do this next summer.
Yeah, you are always welcome. And thank you for your time today and for
Thank
sharing
you.
your knowledge and wisdom. And happy Thanksgiving to you and Brigitte and your girls.
To you and your family and friends too. Thank you so much, gang.
Thank you, Ricardo. Take care.
Have a
Bye-bye.
beautiful day. Thank you. Thanks.